There's new innovative technology which benefits both doctor and patient. And here I talked about the first clinical documentation solution that is changing the experiences of virtual and in-person exams. Today I have Kenneth Harper, Vice President and General Manager of Ambient, Clinical Intelligence, and Virtual Assistance, and Hal Baker, Senior Vice President and Chief Digital and Chief Information Officer of WellSpan. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can either one of you explain to me how this new innovation works?
Yeah, so there's this new technology category called ambient computing. And the idea is using artificial intelligence to make the places we live and work in more intelligent. And so one such solution is called Nuance DAX, stands for Dragon Ambient Experience. And the way that Nuance DAX works in healthcare is when a patient goes in and they have a conversation with their primary care physician, or perhaps a specialist, DAX will listen into that conversation and understand what's being discussed. So we'll hear the symptoms that the patient's reporting, we'll hear what the doctor's saying about the diagnosis and the treatment plan. And based on listening in and understanding the context of those conversations, DAX is able to create a clinical document that clearly summarizes the care of the patient. And the reason that's so important is the doctor doesn't have to worry about doing some of that clerical work inside the computer. Instead, they can focus on the patient because DAX is taking care of the document for them.
Now, what are the benefits for physicians using this technology?
I think the most remarkable thing is how much it frees up the doctor to just think and to be there with the patient. We tell our kids not to text while they're driving because they should be focused on the road and not distracted. And yet I hear from my colleagues how much, and have experienced how much we can be distracted as we try to type data into the electronic medical record or the computer in the exam room. Now with DAX, I just walk in with my phone, I hit the little green button on the app, and it starts listening to the conversation. And I can set it down next to the microphone, the telephone, or next to the patient, and we can just have a conversation in English, not medical terminology. And the note will be generated by Ken's team using the DAX application. And for doctors, what we found is that they're enjoying their encounters more. They're going slightly less in minutes, but they're more relaxed and they're more focused exclusively on the patient and less on cataloging all the details that need to go into a note. And it's also just been a win for patients too.
So again, how do patients benefit from this technology and how?
I think what patients have told us when we did surveys was that the doctor paid more attention to them than they did on the last visit when we were introducing this. And patients increasingly can go to their patient portal and read the notes. And so they're seeing that the story that they told or their spouse told in the exam room has been well recorded and accurately captured in the note. For us, the doctors, we're spending less time creating those documents. It's a minute or two to review the document and make sure it's accurate instead of 4 or 5 minutes to create it. And that is just helping keeping us focused and refreshed and avoiding some of the drudgery that comes into documenting what's needed for the medical record.
It almost sounds like everything's coming into compliance, doesn't it?
I think it absolutely is. And it's kind of a remarkable technology because its whole purpose is to get out of the way. And let the two people in the room focus on what they need to focus on, which is the problem of the patient and the treatment that the doctor's working on. And so it's a remarkably powerful and humble technology.
So it really improves the doctor visits, doesn't it?
It does. I think so.
Now, what's next for DAX?
Yes, if you think about what DAX is doing, it's listening into the conversation, understanding care of the patient. And so as we look at the next couple of years ahead of us, in addition to doing the documentation, which it does today, DAX will also be able to take that understanding of what's being discussed, go out, get evidence-based recommendations, suggestions, come back and make sure that the doctor or your broader care team has all the information they might need to make sure they're making the very best decision on behalf of the patient to drive a successful outcome. And so you can think of this going from just documentation to going to more clinical awareness and enabling the care team to make those very good decisions for the patient.
Gentlemen, it almost sounds like all those huge doctor files that you see when you walk in will now become digital.
They absolutely are. And what is great about this is that the electronic doctor files now will not be based upon the doctor typing or dictating it in. It'll be based on computers just being there and unobtrusively taking notes as they should be doing.
Wow. Now, where can our viewers go for more information?
So if you check out nuance.com/ambient, you can find out more about Nuance DAX, how it works, and how healthcare organizations are currently adopting it.
Kenneth Harper, Hal Baker, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.